Hey guys, Jared here from GamerSlice, and in this video I'm going to be sharing my first impressions of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. First, let's take a look at the options menu, and this, I do have a bit of a concern here that I can't adjust the game volume is the problem. In sound settings, they only have this audio guidance, which is for the iDroid, on or off. So, I can't really adjust the audio, so this might be too loud, and I don't know, but I did a test and it seems to be fine so far. So we'll do this first part live, and then I will show you another section in a bit that I'm going to be talking over some gameplay that I've already recorded. So in this, first off, while we're in this menu here, let's look at the missions. So you have mission list, which allows you to select your main missions. Currently I've completed the 10th one. And there's also a free roam mode here. But then you also have the side ops, which you can do in the open world environment. Now, I'm not sure if you can do them alongside missions. Like, if the mission deployment zone includes the side ops, I'm not sure if you can go do them. But we're going to go do this side op in a second. But real quickly first, let's collect our rewards from... Actually, no, we can do that in a second. So, let's go and deploy in this zone. And I will show you. See, which one do I want? The high skilled soldier. Okay. So we'll deploy at this landing zone over here. Now, here is your sortie prep screen. So this allows you to prep for the current mission. So the music might be too loud. Hopefully this is not too much of an issue. I'll just try to talk loud. So, you have 3 loadouts you can customize, and this loadout I kind of have the trank gun with some stealth stuff. This loadout I have not used yet, but if I just want to go straight out assault, this is the loadout I will use. And then loadout 3 here, I kind of got a mix, and I got the Riot SMG and whatever, so that's good gun. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can select from. So if you look, you have 2 primary weapon slots, 1 hip, 1 back, and you can't have 2 hip ones, like 1 carry on the back, 1 carry on the hip. It's kind of silly, but still, I mean, I guess it forces you into having diversity, which is good. So I got a sniper equipped here and everything, and then you got the same thing with the secondary, but you only got 1 secondary weapon. This other one is the bionic arm, and I can equip it, this second version of it, which will pretty much allow me... What is it? It allows me to stun enemies with it, but I haven't used it. But I do have this one equipped with an active sonar, which allows me to ping enemy locations. It just gives you that kind of rust estimate and doesn't mark them permanently, but it gives you a general idea of where they could be at. And of course, you can select your support items and all that stuff from there. So that's pretty cool. I mean, this game, it expands on everything. Well, it's hugely different than Ground Zeroes. I mean, the mechanics stay the same. That's pretty much it. So, and then you can select buddy. You have D-Dog and D-Horse or whatever. You can also equip them with additional equipment here. This will allow D-Dog to actually go up and kill enemies with a knife, which is kind of funny. Like he'd carry a knife in his mouth. I haven't tried that out yet, but you can also play as other characters as well. And I've tested this out a bit. I can go select this guy, and you know, I can just go out and do missions, even main missions as him. It does kind of break the immersion though, because they still refer to him as boss. But anyways, so let's deploy now. I got my loadout selected that I want, and also you'll see that my mother base insignia or whatever is Venom Vulcan is what I call it. I thought, well, I'll expand on the alliteration of Diamond Dogs, which is DD, so I'll do VV instead. So I customized that, and that's plastered on your containers and on your base and all that stuff. So you know, it's for the FOB mission. So we are now deploying to the zone, and of course, as you saw, I could select my deployment time. So yeah, you can do ASAP or 0600, you know, just to be able to strategize depending on what type of mission you're doing. Obviously, if you're infiltrating a lot, you might want to go in after dusk, but and then this is kind of what we're going to do here, but I'm also going to show out some other stuff, and yeah. So as you saw, our materials just processed and returned to Mother Base, so we can now utilize them. So now if you look at missions, you can call in supplies at any time, call in weapons, ammo, even a specific loadout. You can switch buddies, and I'll demonstrate that in a bit, and give call in fire support. The only thing is, if you call in fire support, you are restricted to no greater than an A grade on a mission. And then of course you saw the side ops list, but this is what we're going to show: combat deployment. You can see there's some soldiers currently out on this mission here, and you know, let's exit the chopper just to cut down some of the noise.
Be careful down there, boss.
So, right here, as I was showing, we got combat deployment. We can, our soldiers that we extract to Mother Base can be used to now be sent out on these missions. Some of these D-Dog is, took a piss. But, okay. Oh, that was low. So yeah, we can deploy on a mission. This mission, at this point, will give us some B through E soldiers. So let's get some more soldiers and deploy on that. It tells you your predicted loss, success probability, all that stuff, and your rewards and all that. Plus, you can assemble a custom unit here and select from anything you want to. And you always have to have combat units on a mission, but sometimes it'll require members from an intel team or whatever. So those you can select manually or just have what they have. And then afterwards you're allowed to use your custom loadout. But I'm just going to use this one right here, which is the same as the custom. And yeah, we'll dispatch them. Now, when you complete them, you go over to here, the Mother Base section, and you can collect rewards. And it will kind of tell you like how it is, you know, what you collected and whether or not you lost any soldiers or whatnot. So we'll accept all these rewards, and then it gives you a little report and just telling you the soldiers that you acquired. So now you can look over your resources here. Here you can develop items. You can see here I got a couple items to develop. I think I should develop a new sniper rifle. So let's develop this sniper rifle. It's instantaneous here. And we can call in a supply drop here. And let's select right over here. We'll just wait for the sniper rifle. But other than that, yeah, you do staff management. You can assign your staff to the specific teams where their abilities are best suited. And when you capture some soldiers, they are in like an interrogation phase where they're held in the brig, and eventually they will be added to your force. And of course, from here you can expand your base facilities. So I don't know what I feel like doing. Let's just let's expand the base development platform, and it tells you all the requirements. And we have 1 hour and 48 minutes to wait for this thing. So now we will go in and select this, take out this not a hostage. We will save this soldier. So it looks like we got a couple additional routes into the base. Let's try going to this one. So we'll place a marker here, and we will go and select. See, before we had this sniper rifle, we'll go in here. We will get our new sniper rifle, and then continue on with the mission. So let's now skip ahead to when I'm infiltrating the compound. Okay, so as you can see now, we reached our marker and we're getting ready to infiltrate the compound here. So you notice here, as I get close, you'll notice that DD will start at some point. I'm going to scout it out first, but DD will start marking enemies for you and medicinal plants and all that sort of stuff. So you can see DD has marked a few targets for us already. And at certain points you can upgrade the forgot what it's called, but your binocular thing, and you can scan for enemy soldiers and look at their stats. So here, this guy, he has a B in combat, which is actually pretty decent. So maybe we might want to extract that guy. For now, and this guy's got a B in R&D, so both fairly good soldiers. So now after scouting this out a little bit more and identifying the target over there, we can actually use let's use the Phantom Cigar here, which is new to the Phantom Pain. And we can pass the time by and observe enemy patrol movements. So let's go to a daytime setting, which will make infiltration a little bit harder, but it'll show you what the game looks like a bit. And I've never used this, so I have no clue how to exit it. There we go. Let's do it. 10 a.m. So, if you use that correctly, which maybe I didn't, you can see enemies changing their patrol. I guess they're not really... Maybe they were doing it there. But, we can get in here and infiltrate. So, let's go and sneak up on this. Now, I'm gonna go over here and maybe get almost spotted, more or less. Let's actually real quickly pop this guy. Stun him. And I'm gonna get... Okay. So, got spotted there. Now this guy's gonna come check us out. Now hopefully this will allow me to demonstrate something that has also been added from Ground Zeroes into the Phantom Pain, which is a stealth mode. Now, okay, the guy doesn't seem to be too interested, but at times if you press triangle when in a prone position, you will go into a stealth mode, which is your most concealed position, and you are the least detectable in this mode. However, if you try to move or shoot or do anything, even aim, you will leave stealth mode. You exit stealth mode, and you will now be more visible. So, just in case you're already spotted, or you are extremely close to enemies and you want to avoid getting spotted, that is a new element of stealth that you can use. So let's go ahead and use the Phantom Cigar again. We'll get over here in a safe position where no enemies will spot us. And come on. And let's pass the time away. And an enemy spotted us. Boom. There we go. Okay, so that's interesting to know. I haven't really experimented too much with that, so... You know what, on second thought, I feel we might have too much trouble doing that. So let's, actually attempt to, extract the guy right now. This guy's combat stats are pretty bad right there. So we're not gonna burn that. Obviously, the guy in the watchtower is woken up. He may put everybody into an alert status, so... things might be fairly dangerous at this point. Yes, they have been moved onto an alert status. Some of the guys are going to check it out. But that'll actually make our job significantly easier in this case. Obviously, it gives you more of an adrenaline rush when you are able to not even alert enemies to your presence in the area. But, you know, at least in this situation, we are at a benefit. And this is obviously reflex mode. This guy's wearing a helmet, so... oh, shit. I have to take this guy out too, I guess. And we kind of screwed ourselves over. I was hoping this would have went a little bit better. But, let's take this guy out, and we'll call in a chopper. So, that's probably a good idea. Actually, let's try just calling in some air support, and you'll be able to see how this works. So, obviously, if you're in a mission, this type of stuff, for the most part, I'm pretty sure restricts your rating. But otherwise, if you're kind of screwed over, this is a good opportunity to call this in and help you neutralize some of these targets. So now we'll Fulton this guy out. And we can probably go and Fulton the other, some of the MG-ness out. Let's take out this sniper real quick.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Oh shit. That was a bad shot. Looks like this guy's going to spot us and enter combat alert. And you do lose heroism a lot of times when you do end up killing dudes sometimes. But we call in the attack chopper, and we extracted the soldier. So now the attack chopper will help us neutralize the rest of these forces.
Cover fire. In hot. Prioritizing elimination of enemy threats.
Hey, he took out that AA gun.
Target acquired. In hot.
And I died.
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake? Snake!
So that did not go according to plan the first time, but I gave it another go and was very successful with taking out all the soldiers. So, a couple last things I'll show you before. You can extract the mortars and everything. However, you do have to get upgrades to extract crates. Right now, I have just recently got the upgrade to be able to extract stuff like vehicles is included in the other upgrade, but I can only extract like mortars and like MGs right now, and I'm not even sure if I can extract anti-aircraft guns. But one other thing I will show you is that you can also call buddies in on the fly. So say I want to switch to D-Horse, I don't want Diamond DD anymore. Extract DD, and then D-Horse will come in momentarily.
So in the last section, I went over more of what you could do than my actual impressions of the game, which if you've been following the game's coverage up to release date, probably most of that stuff you already knew about. But in this section, I'm going to share my impressions of it. So, the game does run at 60 FPS, and if you're wondering why you're seeing it in 30, it's because I'm capturing it with the PS4. Now, I'm not exactly 100% sure, well actually I am, on what video. I had a couple other clips that I was deciding to, trying to figure out which ones to use, and in the end I decided to use this one. There was another one that I was maybe wanting to use a bit more, but I think this one helps me kind of illustrate some things about the game a little bit more. So, for one, let's just talk about graphics real quick. I do think that there may have been a slight graphics downgrade, but the game still looks really good. And, I mean, it only a slight graphics downgrade in some circumstances, like maybe in some cutscenes or sometimes when Snake's, you know, you're coming in on the helicopter, and it focuses in close on his face, just some of, like, around his sideburns area and his cheek area. The textures seem a little muddier than they were before. But other than that, graphics are actually pretty impressive, and on top of that, it runs 60 FPS on console, so that's pretty amazing. Now, one of the biggest things that you'll notice about the game here, when you're watching this, I've actually replayed this level right here, what you're seeing, and this is going to help illustrate one of my major points about the game, and not really gripes necessarily, but the game is really designed around replayability in order to get that S rank. And in order to get the S rank, most of the time you have to know where all the targets are. You have to know the optimal route to do everything. So in that case, like if you were using DD in this scenario, it would be he would be, I guess it's a he, would be marking all the marking all the enemies for me. Whereas if you want to get the S rank, you're gonna have to replay it anyways, most likely. I mean, I've already gotten S ranks on almost half the missions without replaying them. But some of them, like this one, to get the S rank, you have to know how the mission plays out, when the target's moved, and you have to know the time frame that you have to act out certain strategies in. Otherwise, you're gonna miss your window. So in that case, you won't even need DD. So it kind of almost makes the companions obsolete, like a certain amount of the time, depending on how focused you are on actually getting an S rank. The open world gameplay, though, is a really cool change to Metal Gear that we've never seen in the past, and it lends itself pretty well to the game. Although it is different than what you would normally expect out of an open world game, because you have your main missions and then your side ops. But sometimes the main missions, they're more minuscule and they don't have. I mean, the game's got a really good story, but a lot of the times they almost seem like quick, almost like side missions. But they're I think they fit into what Metal Gear is going for, which is like quick infiltration missions, and it makes more sense on how actual espionage would work. There's like maybe less story in it and just like a single objective. And in that sense, it helps the game really focus well on one of its strong suits, which is the gameplay, which I will get to in a bit. I mean, for now, I'll just say the gameplay is very solid, and there's pretty much nothing wrong with it, except for you may have noticed at some points during this video that there is kind of like an auto lock thing when you're aiming down your sights, and it like alters the crosshair and moves it around, so then you see there are like 2 on the screen. That kind of can be a nuisance sometimes, because I've learned how to counter it, but in Ground Zeroes there was a lot of situations where I would want to shoot somebody, and then right at the last moment when I'm getting ready to pull the trigger, it locks onto like a sandbag that's like a foot in front of me, and it shoots the sandbag instead of the guy who's like around the sandbag. But anyways, so there's 2 locations for the open world, and one of them is Afghanistan. The other one, I can't pronounce it exactly. It's got some weird name, but it's more jungle area, but there is still a little bit of desert stuff. I haven't got to that part yet, though. But part of the open world is you're going to want to, obviously travel around it fast. You don't want to have to run or drive or ride your horse everywhere. So you're going to want to call your chopper in. Now, the thing that I found kind of annoying, though, is every time you call it in, even if you just want to transport to another location in the open world, you have to, it takes you back to the aerial command center when so you have to go through the loading screen to get back to the aerial command center, which isn't very long, but you have to get back there, and then you have to reselect the landing zone instead of the chopper directly transporting you. I think that would be cool because in Mother Base they do have like a fast travel system like that. When you get on the helicopter, instead of going back to the aerial command center, it gives you like about a 3 or 4 second window to press the square button, and then you can designate another helipad to land on to transport yourself there. And I think they should have had that in the open world too, because it would have been awesome to, you know, get in the helicopter and then have it take you like all across the map, and you could just be sitting there observing like the scenery. So that would be pretty cool, but they don't have that. But it's just a minor complaint, and it doesn't really affect the overall game at all. Now the other thing is the enemy AI in this game is, well, if you thought it was good in Ground Zeroes, it is like almost twice as good now. The enemies will spot you from nearly twice as far, and they actually investigate when they, you know, hear something. You know, say you're in the middle of the night, you're infiltrating, they hear a noise, they'll actually like shine their light over there, but then instead of just like, if they don't see anything, instead of just breaking off their you know, search, they will actually actively pursue you and go to that location. And to some extent, it almost seems like the game at times is kind of cheating you, because one enemy will get alerted and then a lot of the others will almost seem to know your location. But later on as I played, I realized that there were a bunch of other things I did that made the enemy find out my location. So it wasn't like the game did not take a step back in that sense. But the enemy is just that smart. And so it's almost like you have to adapt to learning how, you know, smart the enemy is, because there hasn't been any, to my knowledge, there's not been an AI this good in any game so far. Now, the servers have been down recently. The first couple days they were non-operational. Last couple days they've been on and off, so I haven't had a chance to do an FOB mission. I don't think I've progressed far enough in the game to do that, but you can you know, you can do the FOB missions and face other players and everything. I haven't got a chance to do that, but the servers are down right now, so I don't know when they're going to get it fixed, but they've constantly been doing maintenance on it and sending us messages back and forth. But anyways, now the thing that you'll notice here, and this is kind of annoying too, is at the end of every mission there's actually a quick credit scene. And it basically goes through all the voice actors for the mission and tells Kojima, the director, and all that kind of stuff. So by the end of this game, you will not forget who made the game, because every single mission there is a quick credits, just like on a TV show. And I should mention the missions, as you've noticed, have been designed quite a bit around that like TV show, like episodic series type thing. But in closing, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain excels in two things. That is gameplay and story. And the game really allows you to make it your own experience. So my final verdict on this game is to go pick it up. It's a great game. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, that was target confirmed dead. Impressive work, boss.